Okay, great.
She's here, but she's in bed again.
Yeah. Well, please give her our best, Bob. We missed her.
Okay.
All right. We have the consent agenda, the February minutes, and the year-to-date budget. Anyone have any questions about the February minutes? They look good. Would anyone like to make a motion that we accept the minutes? Thank you, Bob. Anyone second?
Second.
Thank you, Brian.
I think Tails, you beat me, so let's go.
Okay, good. You save yours. Thank you, Tachi. And all in favor of accepting the minutes? Anyone opposed? All right. Thank you. And did everyone have a chance to look at the budget? We have Joy and Arlie here to help us.
I looked at it.
Good. Thank you, Bob. Any highlights this month, Joy, Bob, Arlie?
There were no big changes. And I'm trying to pull up what we had.
I was struck by the lower, sort of low 10-year low increase in funding from the LEA. It's not ideal, but I guess better than a decrease.
Here we go.
Do we have visitors in the meeting?
No.
It's just 8 of us.
Yes.
Okay.
The call's being streamed, but no one seems to have.
No one's watching it. Okay.
Yeah, as far as the budget, there were really no huge changes. We did finalize. We did get notice that we did get some safety grant funds from the state. The EC transfer students was finalized. So I do believe at this point we've got all of our state funding. And we did have some, a little bit of salary changes, just employee shifting just a little bit. And I believe those are really the highlights of the budget, unless anyone's got any questions that they noticed.
Questions, anybody? Thank you, Joy. Mm-hmm. It's our little bonus that Joe's not here. We get to hear from you this time, right? It's our little prize. All in favor of accepting the year-to-date budget? Oh, sorry. Someone has to make the motion first, please. Brian, motion. Bob makes a second. All in favor? Please raise your hand. Thank you.
Voted by Bark. I think that's legit.
The bark. That was Vicky's proxy, I think. Was it, Bob?
Yeah, Barney's her proxy.
All right. Okay, moving along to the handbooks. Arlie, can you give us a little? Sorry, I'm all this big pile of papers in my lap, like a real kindergarten teacher today. Arlie, can you give us the highlights?
Yes.
Please.
I lost it. Basically,
while you're looking,
yeah, I got it here.
Okay.
The handbook edits. So we have a staff and family handbook and an employee handbook, and legally you're supposed to have both. So we have both. A lot of the language is the same in both. The employee handbook has some more like employee language. Title IX had to be updated in both handbooks because we were following the 2020 version. We were given an updated 2024 version, and the Trump administration made changes. And so something was vetoed and something was passed. And so now we have to go back to the 2020. So that's just it's just putting back the language that was there before. The background checks, we didn't have anything explicitly named in our background check for background checks in either handbook, which I thought was odd because we definitely have a protocol or a policy that we follow. So we just added language in both handbooks to say what I put in this this handbook edits document. We require a background check for all of our chaperones and drivers. We also require background checks for school volunteers. The process is to complete the form online. Our business office processes them. If anybody has questions, they should ask me. The school covers the cost of background checks during the first 6 weeks of at school, and after that, it's the responsibility of the volunteer, chaperone, or driver. If we hire somebody, we background check them as part of our employee hiring process. Similar system, but let me see. Then John and I worked on diversity by design has been one of our facet areas, and the word diversity is a hot topic right now. And so we changed language in some various documents. And so it now says design for every learner. There's some other spaces in some other documents where we change it from economically disadvantaged to educationally disadvantaged. And so that's just a small change, but wanted to share that. And then I didn't mention when we were talking before, Marcia, I mean, with the governance committee, but the Board of Trustees, the link for the 25-26 Board of Trustees list and the school calendar for 25-26, both also had to be updated because those are linked in the handbook. So those are updated and linked here. And then just for note, legislation will likely.
Yeah. Sorry, Arlie, we're still doing. We'll just keep that document updating, right? Because we're still doing 24-25.
Right. So this is the updated Board of Trustees and the updated school calendar are only in the updated handbook. And right now, what the parents have and what the staff have are the current year's handbook.
Perfect.
We want the updated handbook so that Joy and I can attach it and put it in the to go ahead and get employee agreements out and have staff signed up for their positions for next year. So the last piece in terms of policy, just to know about, is cell phone and wireless device. We already have a good policy in place, but it might be something we want to revisit in summer because legislation will likely be passed in North Carolina that has some explicit language around wireless devices and cell phones. That language is already in our policy, so I don't think we'll have anything, but if they come up with some new language, we might need to discuss it. So that's just to put that on your radar, but nothing that we need to do in our handbooks right now. And that is the overview of that. I'm going to close the blind.
Just comment that we're seeing a lot of these same mandates, I suppose, at NCSSN that Arlie just covered here. The Title IX rollback was a dear colleague letter from the Department of Education that was the least collegial in tone that I've ever seen in my life, but it is what it is. And and then there's some state legislation banning DEI hot button things in schools. And so I think to steer around that is unfortunate to have to, but probably a wise thing to do. I did notice some of the, you may want to check the page numbers in the table of contents because for instance, the board part says it's on page 22, but it's really on page 20. Probably just when edits were made, those page numbers got skewed a little bit. And so
if you all vote to approve them, I could make those edits post-approval. Happy to do that.
Yeah.
Governance committee asked Arlie just to bring all this. We are legally required to update the handbook every year. So we also have given Arlie the right to make minor changes throughout the year. So this is really probably just the once a year time that we'll see the handbook. Did everyone have a chance? There weren't any changes other than that. Maybe Brian, is this the first time you've seen the handbook or as a board member, maybe?
It is, but I appreciated the changes being pointed out in the board packet. And if I'm not going too fast, I'd move that we approve the, is it student and faculty handbooks for the coming 25-26 school year?
Yes, you should have both. And
family handbook and the staff handbook, right? Arlie, is that the right language?
Yes.
Barbara, are you making a second? Can't hear you.
He is.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, I turned it off for the dog. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Might be a technicality, but I think Tachi disappeared.
Oh, no.
I
She's
have
back.
Vicky's proxy. We still have.
Oh,
she
there you
back?
go.
Oh, good. You have Vicky. Okay. All in favor then? Anyone opposed? All right. So we need, Todd, we need to be sure we count Vicky's proxy.
Okay.
Here she is.
Tachi, did you? Oh, thank goodness. Will you vote on the handbooks? All in favor?
Looks
Oh, she's-
frozen.
I
There
know.
we go.
We can't hear you though.
Okay,
you
I'm
hear
so
us?
sorry.
Oh,
I can hear you now. My connection went out. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Did you
We're
have any
just voting
questions?
to
about the
approve the
handbook?
handbooks.
Okay. Yes, I am in favor, and I was also gonna echo thank you, Arlene, for your hard work and changing language. Was in the meetings still, but I got kicked out when you were sharing. You were sharing some similar experiences, they as well. So, yes.
We can't quite hear you, but I think you were saying that you're seeing similar things too, right? Okay, good. Okay, thank you.
The program
All right.
excellence and the governance committee both talked about language. So
Yeah,
thank you
All
all for discussing all that.
yeah. And we're seeing it happen. Brian's seeing it and Tachi is seeing it and you're seeing it early because you all work at publicly funded schools, right? All right. So the handbooks passed unanimously, and now it is time for Arlie's update. Take it away, Arlie.
Okay.
Arlie, I want to say this is my favorite part of the meeting.
Okay.
Always. This is why we do what we do, Bob, right?
It's really wonderful. Thank you.
This is the same slide as February's slide. All Children Thrive model, child-centered project-based learning, demonstration school, teaching and learning center, and K-8 campus. We're still working on the same initiatives. Since February's meeting, we held our March 1st all-school work day, and we came up with a labeling system for all the grade levels to label their stuff in different colors and start boxing up whatever they can box up so we can start moving items and storing them and be prepared for the big move. So fourth grade is orange, and you can see that they packed up with their orange labels, and some parents and community members came out, and the parents were super excited and the staff were super excited, and they had a great day. We also ended quarter 3. We had conferences, narratives, and lots of project shares. We sent our schedule and our class and staff information to Infinite Campus Places Power School. We held our lottery. Families accepted their spots and registration is underway. We cut out the intent form and all of that so that we don't have extra processing to do and just went straight for registration. So if you're coming back, go ahead and register. And that seems to be going well. We began advertising and promoting the Strawberry Festival, and we will be interviewed on April 26th on WRAL to promote the festival in its 20th year this year.
All right.
Our parents works for WRAL apparently.
Nice.
So that person's connected with Kat and they're super excited. I don't know who they're interviewing. Maybe it's me, John and I, Kat, we'll see. We'll figure it out.
Or the founder of the Strawberry Festival is Vicky Patton.
Well, I'll talk to Vicky and see if she wants to get involved in that.
She has a really cute strawberry backpack she could wear.
Yeah, that's right.
If anybody wants any media prep or media training, I'm happy to serve.
Nice.
That
Wow.
sounds great, Brian. Yes.
Thank you.
We were also awarded, as Joy stated, a grant for $90,000 for safety and serving students in crisis. That's the biggest grant I've ever received, and I'm super excited about that. Spring break camps are happening right now, and then the development committee met this week. That was Brian and myself, John, Isonder, and Tim, to discuss the transition of the development committee from the foundation to the school board. And that meeting was really exciting because we're all on the same page with steps to move forward. This is a picture from Lottery Day. That's Chanel, board member. She's the one that pushed go on the lottery. That's Raynell from the lower school. That's me. And that's Christina, our student information system data administrator. On the same day as the all-school workday on campus, I was at Wakefield High School with 4 of our Odyssey of the Mind teams, and they're all headed to the state competition on this Saturday. We also hosted some visitors. Former CPSC teacher and current UNC professor Taylor Schmidt came, and he brought German exchange students who are studying education at UNC. He said, I hate to ask you this, but can they come tour the school? And I said, I tour the school every Thursday. You should just come join us. So they did, and they had a great time. They had lots of questions about the difference between our approach to education and the way they do things in Germany. Former CPSC parent and lead, or one of the leads of the Toyama Sister Cities program, Sister Cities with Durham, Sunshine Scoville, brought Japanese exchange students. And this is a picture of some of them in our innovation lab talking to Eli about how we integrate the arts and 3D printing and core content. And he's holding, I don't know if you can see in his hand, some kids sketched up a hall pass idea that copies our logo, and then they 3D printed it so it matches our logo. And on the back of the circle tree thing, it has the number for the classroom that it matches, but the kids designed that. So they thought that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
We also had some documentary guests come, and this, they were coming to interview me because in the 90s, when I was in high school, we had a collaboration between science teacher and shop teacher where we converted gas cars to electric and we raced them nationally. They wrote a book about us. They made a PBS special about us. And so this documentary filmmaker is trying to generate interest around the state about this group of students that did this thing 30 years ago. And then a former teacher and district superintendent from the northeastern part of the state is also trying to write a book. Thanks, Brian. So they came and spent time on they came to Foster Street. They went to Trotter and saw the TLC. They went to Hunt Street. They went to North Street. They filmed a bunch of people. They interviewed me. They got to meet older student ambassadors. So they met a group of 8th graders. And so I'm going to give you the quote from John Parker at the end of this presentation.
Arlie, don't you need to show us the teaser?
Right. I need to see the footage of Arlie back in the day as well, please.
So the first group of people that went and raced I was a sophomore. So they were 2 years older than me. And then we were the second group. So most of this teaser, I'm not in this teaser, but some of my fellow students are in it. I'll show it to you if you really want to, but I had not planned.
We want to see you, really.
Okay.
That's what we want. At least that's what I wanted.
So they're trying to generate interest across the state, and they're connected to, when they left, Jay was explaining he would like to bring one of the electric cars to school and let the students see it. And he's connected to lots of different foundations and grant funding around energy and environmental impact and stewardship. And so he's like, when he was leaving, he said, I want to come back and I want to film more and I want to talk to you more about how we could partner. And I was like, yes, we would love to partner. And also how we could partner in terms of curriculum. So I'm really excited and haven't even talked to John about the different things he mentioned, but I will definitely get with him so that we have good plans for that. So
Arlie, there already is a book, or he's writing a book.
They wrote a book about us in
right.
maybe 2006 or so. It's called Electric Dreams.
Electric Dreams.
And this person is trying to write a book now, and his book is Where Are They Now 30 years later. So they came to see me, where am I now 30 years later, because I'm running a school. And
yeah,
of all the people that were part of this program, most of us work in public education or social work or policy or all kinds of cool jobs that are like service type jobs. And so they think that that's really interesting and wonder how our experience with basically project-based learning in the 90s led us down the path of what we're doing now. And so that was really interesting. And we showed pictures to the kids, the 8th graders, because I was the same age that they're getting ready to be next year. And they just thought it was wild. So anyway, I'll keep going.
Wait, did they see
say,
pictures of
did you
you?
say there's one of these cars that y'all made is still in existence and he has it?
3 of them are still in existence, but one is on tour across the state. Like it was at the EPA a few months ago. It's been in different places. And we actually had a 30th year reunion in September, and they filmed a lot of folks, but it was going late into the night and I would need to get the kids home. And I was like, I can't be interviewed right now. You guys have to catch me another day. I said, but you're welcome to come to Central Park and check out my school. So they were like, yeah, we'll come to the school.
Was it like EV1 stuff with DC motors and a bunch of lead acid batteries, or?
Yes.
Awesome.
We, I could tell you all about it another time.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
That's
you,
exciting.
Arlie. That's so fun.
You can click on it later and you can look it all up.
Thank you.
The Demonstration Lab School Teaching and Learning Center, Lucia and I are moving forward with the teacher leads, working on cataloging and organizing curriculum materials, planning next year's professional development, and revisiting expectations for meeting after school or during the school day so that we've got it lined up so grade level teams and content area teams can meet together. In July, we'll host Open House K-8, and the TLC should be ready for everybody to come and see it. We did find out that Frazee let us know they're not going to provide flooring for the space, so that is sad, but we're working on backup options. Joe, John, Al, and I continue to meet on Fridays. We had an arborist come out and assess the trees. He was great. He said he loved what we were doing. He was so impressed with how much green space our campus has. He said his kids went to expedition school and he just wished they had so much green space like how Central Park has it. And he told us all about keeping the big trees and what we need to do to take care of them. And so we're only going to remove one tree, and that's one that's half rotten on the corner there of the parking lot, but everything else can stay. The anchor tree to our edible garden area is a large pecan tree. And so that can stay, and we're really excited about that too. We moved forward with the landscape architect. He shared a draft plan and he's making a more detailed, the colored images should be ready soon. As for the large terraces, we might need a civil engineer or somebody to look into it because we're trying to make sure we have a solid plan for stormwater and drainage and that they're in good shape so that we can add the elements we hope to add. We have renderings for our K-8 library and our social emotional learning space. So this is one of the drafts, not the final draft of the back of the upper school. So those are the big terraces. The final draft actually has 2 slides, and there's a water feature because water comes down the big hill. So we're going to try to work in how we address the water moving so that it's all going where we want it to go and not causing any kind of problems. So this is an example. After school one day, this is my child, Everly. We went up the steps to go towards the North Street, and you can see the wall is kind of cracking right there. Mm-hmm. So there's a couple of areas on those terraces that we'll have to look into, which we'll do, and that's fine. And then we can start to add more of the features that you saw in the drawing. We also have taken some steps inside. So this is a before and after of flooring. And the flooring in the whole building, this is not even the 1930s flooring. This is something that was put in later, but they've been able to really, make it non-splintery and really pretty.
That's great.
So basically the vision we're working on is a K-8 campus with 2 buildings, and both of the buildings have similar features. So the lower school building has kindergarten through 3rd grade classrooms, a K-8 library, which would be accessible to everybody, the big room, which is kind of a flex space, accessible to everybody, and then a large art room, eventually using the cages area as kind of the dream scenario. Workshop area and a kiln, outdoor classrooms on both sides of the building, and outdoor garden beds. And then in the upper school building, 4th through 8th grade classrooms, the K-8 Teaching and Learning Center, which is accessible to everybody, a big room flex space, which is kind of the gym downstairs, that's also accessible to everybody. Art room with extension to outside classroom, wood shop area and a kiln, and then outdoor classroom studio space. There's a few different zones of that, and outdoor garden beds. This is a rendering or a drawing of a potential K-8 library space. We would combine 2 classrooms so that it's actually bigger so we can fit our collection and have like carpet reading space for like the K-3, but also tables and chairs for like project work, and it can have different zones. So we're excited about taking some steps towards that this summer and then continuing to build that over the next, over time. So on the horizon, end of March and into April, employees signed and committed to next year, continued work on the North Street, prep for Strawberry Festival, and prep for the move. And then I had a blank slide for no reason. So one night after the play, I didn't mention the play, but we did host the play in the big room. When I came out, there was a beautiful sunset, and I was standing in front of the building, and I thought, this is such a magical school. And somebody had the idea to put this here a long time ago before the rest of those buildings were even there. And look how pretty it is. And it's just such a nice space, and it's anchored in this downtown zone. So here's the quote from John Parker, who is superintendent, teacher, and all that. Thanks so much for the wonderful tour, the opportunity to meet your students, and for what you are doing. From 2006 to 2012, I had the opportunity to visit a number of schools around the state and the country that were at various levels trying to accomplish what you all are doing. The genuine happiness of your students and appreciation for how they are learning and for each other really comes through. I hope that you, your staff, and students can find a niche for influencing other schools on a broad scale. He also said, hope the fire inspectors don't give you a hard time. Remember that the best elementary teachers I worked with always dreaded their presence, because when they showed up to film, the fire marshal came. And I said, oh, the fire marshal's here. And he said, oh, I hope they go easy on you.
Yeah. Arlie, that's so sweet. That made me cry a little bit. It's so nice.
It's good.
It's so nice.
Sometimes we forget. So
Nice job, Arlie.
That's it.
Good work.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Arlie, I do have one question for you. The switch to Infinite Campus, right?
Yes.
From Power School, was that a mandatory state thing that we had to do?
Yes.
And did I see in some paper somewhere that we have to pay for it?
So the state is picking up the bill on the Infinite Campus. So it actually saves us some money.
Okay.
As you probably know, I mean, everything is data. So we've got data storage and email and all these different. So we have lots of systems at the school. And so Todd and Joy and I and Charlie and Renell, we've been slowly trying to whittle down what are the systems we actually need. Let's all use the same system. Let's communicate with this system. And so hopefully the switch to Infinite Campus is not going to be horrible. We're just going to roll with it. Some schools have already been using it and there's some glitches. Some schools have been using it just fine. We're kind of at the mercy of the state because that is what we have to use. So,
yeah, I just was thinking if they're make us use it and they're charging us for it. I hate stuff like that, but
yeah,
God, they're paying for it. Yeah. Brian, did you want to say anything? Arlie mentioned the development committee move. Did you want to say anything about that?
I just wanted to echo Arlie's feeling about the energy from our meeting last week. And it was really, I think it was a great opportunity after sort of, lots of people transitioning to different new roles and COVID happening and then being in different phases of, resolving, to just kind of regroup and sort of think about how we structure things for the future to be to work the best and to sort of let everybody fill their highest and best purpose and to bring in the most resources for the school. And we were so excited after the meeting this week that we immediately we said we want to meet again within a week, and so we're going to meet next week. But in the short version of the way it'll work is that the school will kind of handle annual fund stuff as part of the normal communications that Kat is involved with, and with a lot of parent volunteers, including sort of several key people with like vast, incredible experience that we're able to take advantage of as volunteers. And then on the foundation side, they'll focus on sort of the fiduciary duties of managing the funds that have been contributed, and then also really getting intensive on major gift fundraising, which takes a lot of focus and a lot of touches, and is a little bit of a longer game. And as I can tell you from experience, it's very difficult to do when you're also trying to run an annual campaign at the same time, because those are both two sort of disparate projects. And so The other thing that we're going to do is have the sort of branding and sort of graphic design function be on the school side, but serve both the foundation's needs and the school's needs. And so that should give everything a nice unified look and feel. We'll be creating some sort of common language about fundraising that everybody will be able to consult and use, so that when people hear from anybody affiliated with the school or the foundation, we're talking about it in the same way. Creating wish lists of opportunities, so that if people who have means to give have particular interests, that we can point them towards something that's going to really excite them and make them want to make a gift. It seems like it was a great meeting of the minds, and I'm very excited about where we're going to be going forward.
That's great. I see Tim is nodding and Arlie's nodding. Thank you, Brian. And thanks for taking it on too.
Of course.
I appreciate you. Tim, without further ado, please let me welcome Tim Cloyd, who's going to present on behalf of the foundation today. Take it away, Tim.
Thanks, Marcia. John is away. He's up at Georgetown for a program. But Todd, I don't have those slides. Can you share them?
Yes, I'll bring them up.
Okay. I just wanted to go through. I got 3 slides, and John gave me instructions as to how to report. Yes, and so this is the intro slide talking about financial and grant resources, leadership program transition, as we already have spoken about, and then strategic dual appeal. I'll mention something about that in just a minute. Go ahead, Todd. So we have got great momentum, and the Match Madness, Arlie, that's been going well, I think. And we're at $195,364, and we feel like we're going to be able to hit the $250,000 goal pretty comfortably. In the building fund, we've got a gift of $35,000. Embedded within the annual fund are some gifts that will be designated for the building. Then, Bob, we were able to get the ERC money, and I didn't know whether you wanted to comment on that.
Well, it was a lot of people said it wouldn't happen, but we hired a very good accountant, and he charged us something like $800. There's been a lot of an industry of people trying to push these things through for a huge fee. And we sent in a very good proposal, and it's going to be a big help. It will increase the school's savings account at the foundation, which then allows the foundation to use other funds to cover the costs of upfitting North Street. We don't have the money yet, and we have a plan B. I mean, I don't believe you count something really until the check clears the bank.
Right.
And that's actually 10 days after the check clears the bank. And
yeah.
But John has spoken to IRS about this, and about 2 weeks ago, they told him that they would be writing the check within 30 days.
So that's good news. And
yeah,
then,
thank you, Bob.
And then also on the appropriations side, we're working with the state legislature on a piece of legislation, or embedded within a piece of legislation, of funding for historical restoration funding, but it's for schools and other kinds of institutions that are restoring, and that's we're looking forward to see how that turns out. We have some grant proposals out, some pretty significant ones, and so that's going along well. The major gift cultivation, we have about 45 major gift donor prospects. And what we're going to be doing is really doing a data analytics on the annual fund to look at the patterns of giving and the people giving, and so that we fully really understand the annual fund. And then from that, we'll be segmenting some donor pools to look at who are the people that have the capacity and propensity to make a major gift. And there are times when we're going to, Arlie or John will be going to someone and saying, thank you for your major gift to the annual fund of X amount of dollars. And we would like for you to consider continuing that, but we want to talk to you today about a more robust gift relative to our capital project. So that's kind of how we would approach some of those donors. So we need to grow the donor pool to our major donor prospect pool by about double it, but to have about 90. And so that's what John and I are working on right now. Go ahead, Todd. Development committee transition back to school from the foundation. That's been spoken about. That was a really good meeting, really warm meeting. It was everybody's on the same page. We're all going to be working, pulling in the same direction. I think foundation priorities for the next few months are going to be to raise the $250,000 in major gifts and complete that for the upper school. So that's where the focus really is right now for the major gift component. Corporate sponsorships is also an area we're getting ramped up. John's already sent out about a dozen or so letters, and he is following up with individualized calls to get those donor sponsorships in coordination, of course, with Strawberry Festival and everything that's happening there, and in coordination with CAT. So that's going well. So the other is we really have not activated our planned giving program. You know that if you have an IRA, you can give up to $110,000 out of your IRA with no tax consequences. So if you put money in tax deferred, you can make a gift of that money without ever having to take the tax on it. So a lot of people have IRAs who, when they hit that mandatory distribution, it's an opportunity for them to make this kind of a gift through that kind of a structure. So we're going to be really thinking about the grandparents and really doing a segmentation on the grandparents and identifying those who could and perhaps would be willing to help us with the building or help us with the endowment through a planned gift. So we're working through that. Next slide. And that gives you a sense of what we're working on: segmentation of the donor pool, $250,000 for the building fund, and hitting the goal of $250,000 for the annual fund. So pivoting to phase 2 of the campaign, we'll be talking about that after we hit our $250,000 goal in this phase. And that is the end of the story, I think. Questions?
Tim, this is Bob. I just wanted to, again, thank you so much. We are so fortunate to have someone with your experience and knowledge and devotion.
Well,
I still don't understand why we deserve you, but you've been so dedicated to us. We're just very, very grateful.
I love it, Bob. And if you ever want to know why, come down and sit in John's office with me one morning and listen to those kids sing.
Wow. Yes.
And when they're singing that Bob Marley song, no worries, every little thing's going to be all right. There's nothing more that raises my spirit for the day and the week than to
Wow.
hear them sing that song and to hear those little kids and to see those smiles. It's just unbelievable. Inspiration.
Thanks again.
Thank you. We're good. Thank you, Tim. It was great to hear from you. We appreciate you.
Okay.
Does anyone have anything else? No? Joy, thank you.
I have a quick aside. Arlie, let's put off our meeting on the MOU. I don't want to do it tomorrow morning.
Okay.
I've got to pack for a trip. So I'll be back first week in April. I think we can get that done, and I'll work on it while I'm away.
Okay.
Thank you, Bob. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Todd, thank you.
Bob, are you leaving town tomorrow?
I'm driving to the airport at 3:00 tomorrow afternoon.
Okay. Be careful.
Precisely.
Thank you. We'll try.
Thank you, Todd.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
Good to see
Thanks,
everybody.
for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Thank
The
you.
meeting is adjourned.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Hey, Todd, I'll send you that presentation to email out.
Okay, cool.
And
Thanks.
Arlie, I did not receive that draft from you. If you sent it, it didn't get to me.
Are you sure? Well, you must be sure if you don't see it.
Well, I don't know which email address you used, but some of them, the Mind Spring one seems to be the most reliable.
It's at Bob Chapman at Mindspring.
Correct.
I sent it late though. It was sent like an hour ago.
Oh, okay. Well, let me look at that mailbox.
It said, sorry for the delay. It's been a busy
MOU
day.
draft 535. Okay. I did.
There you go.
Thank you. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.